Yo, it's Dr. Cool. Welcome back. The trillion-dollar question that have been left behind about Maxwell Chikumbutso groundbreaking technology remains. How will Western big corporations in automotive industries absorb Maxwell Chikumbutso's self-powered technology that is heading straight for it like a nuke? Africa has been absorbing all kinds of shocks from the Western world that has lasted more than 500 to 700 years, if not more, from Western big corporations. Take a look at how terrible Africa, that is the richest continent in the world, is grappling with energy and economic crisis as they don't experience natural disaster such as tornado, earthquake or heavy flood. The West have consistently and strategically designed unending disaster that has been plaguing Africa until this moment, and there don't seem to be any hope or relieving sight for Africans other than seeing the West as safe haven. Now African inventor who refused to be brainwashed by the West has invented a technology 3,000 years ahead of its time that is shutting down the West in the most interesting way they never saw coming. How will the Western automotive leaders in automotive industry adapt to the self-powered technology? This is a big question that hasn't been carefully discussed or confronted by the mainstream media because they are scared of the outcome. To the best they can do is collective mute buttons pressed at the mention of Maxwell Chikumbutso invention. The reality here is obviously scaring the hell out of Westerners. They may call him scam, hoax, fraud. However, deep down they are in pains of what's coming. The trillion-dollar automotive industries are not smiling. Hearing a rumor how your pretty wife is about to get smashed will feel more horrific and terrifying than any horror movie. It will feel like witnessing an earthquake around you without destroying anything. The sounds, echoing and accompaniments is excellent recipes for heart attack. You will try hard to stop believing your very own life is flashing before your eyes. So exactly how will the automotive industry adapt to the self-powered technology or risk-facing Nokia effect? Let's test how sweet a fried beef meat will be from the aroma, shall we? How exactly did the big players in automotive industry welcomed new players they never saw as competitive competitors like Tesla, BYD, NIO, and you name it? It didn't come with open arms. The Tesla and his new players in the field left the biggest boys and pioneers in automotive industries playing catch-up. It wasn't so consequential because these players aren't from Africa. Now imagine for a second what the game will be like for Maxwell Chikumbutso's technology is not just about to put opened gas-powered cars like Tesla and BYD are playing, but rendering both EV and gasoline-powered vehicle obsolete like a ticking time bomb. That, my friends, is a very disturbing and very frightening leap that won't be given a smile or handshake, but sniper or anything worse to maintain dominance in automotive multi-trillion-dollar industries. This will be a huge battle because he's not Silicon Valley. Not to mention his skin color and not Western Concorsion School Systems graduate, forcing Mercedes, BMW, Volkswagen, Toyota, and every big brands in automotive industry to risk shutting down their factory or head to Africa to obtain license to equip their models with Maxwell Chikumbutso microsonic energy device to each of their models. Is the challenge the Western big corporations are losing sleep over? If he is a European American or Asian, it doesn't ring a bell, but not Africa. Why? The reality is the West has condemned Africa to be lower than human being and have making sure Africa remains poor, undervalued, undeveloped, malnutritioned, get brain-drained, exploited and not inclusive in the technology innovation. So Africa will be completely dependent on the West for everything. They have been playing game of not including Africa in any technological innovation, as that won't fit the exploitation of Africa continent blueprint as agreed in Berlin Conference after the Second World War. This will not also fit into the Western economic models that has in it blueprint to keep Africa impoverished at all cost. Getting everything Africa have by hook or crook and keep exploiting African resources at death cheap is not a smart move to now bow before Africa as the leader of automotive industry that is the key money mining machine. As this movie to head to Africa to obtain license to retrofit Africa technology to self-power Western economy, not only relegate Western world to second class, but will revamp African economic growth and rewrite history in a way that profits Africa are equal or higher than the West. That, my friends, is what's shutting down the Western world as they are currently choosing to adopt this disruptive technology while taking time to get around this technology for possibility of backdoor entry, to reverse engineer it, and seemingly the Patent Office of US has made Maxwell Chikumbutso groundbreaking technology vulnerable for thwarting by big Western corporations. However, here is where things get more interestingly against big automotive industry. patent denials of Maxwell Chikumbutso, invention is to give the Western engineers time to figure out what's beneath the secret box of Maxwell Chikumbutso. That's why there is a massive campaign underground pushing for scientific validation and rigor. Result replication. By so doing, if Maxwell give in, the West will not only steal his technology, but could decide to re-engineer Maxwell Chikumbutso groundbreaking invention for monetization on weekly or monthly based. If you have to drive for a year, that will be a lot of subscription to buy full self-powered for a year alternatively. They may also patent it for Western individual, thereby knocking Maxwell off his invention. At this juncture, something never imagined would happen occurred. Maxwell Chikumbutso shocked the automotive industry by implementing a safe tampered-proof strategy that further carried the Western automotive industry from frying pan into the fire by getting his technology multi-layered encrypted, that is nearly uncrackable level of security that will make it nearly impossible for the big automotive industry unable to steal or reverse engineer his invention. Which, if attempted, the microsonic energy device will self-destruct. This level of security protection is bizarre and shocking. As the West knows for sure, African are smarter, and that's the reasons they have for centuries never want to provide level playing field between the Westerners and African, because Asian can beat the crap out of them if level playing field is provided, not to mention Africa. This is the issues and challenges the current state of Maxwell Chikumbutso technology has brought upon the Western automotive industry, bearing in mind that Maxwell Chikumbutso is not a household name, and he doesn't have a legion of fans hanging on his every tweet. But what Maxwell Chikumbutso lacks in fame, he more than makes up for in sheer ingenuity and determination. Forget sleek presentations and billion-dollar valuations. Forget the glitz and glamour of tech conferences and the endless cycle of product launches. This is Maxwell Chikumbutso, a name whispered in hushed tones, a name that represents a quiet revolution brewing in the heart of Zimbabwe, a name that sends shivers down the spines of big oil and big auto. These industries, long accustomed to their dominance, are now facing a challenge they never saw coming. This Zimbabwean inventor, a modern-day Prometheus, has dared to do what was deemed impossible. In a world where innovation often means incremental changes, Maxwell has taken a giant leap. He's created a car that runs on air. Yes, you heard that right. A car that doesn't rely on fossil fuels, electricity, or even hydrogen. Not compressed air, mind you, not some convoluted hydrogen fuel cell nonsense. This is a car that harnesses the very air we breathe, as seemingly the Western engineers couldn't fathom the source of the energy which he called radio frequencies. That has been readily available abundant since 2003 that he began working on this self-powered technology, leading it epic, disruptive invention of microsonic energy device, the generator that is converting the radio frequencies into pure green energy. This unknown source of power has left the Western established scientists and engineers devastated. An entire Western automotive industry caught in the room filled with flying giant elephant. Here's where it gets interesting. Thus, technology runs on the very radio frequencies that delivers music and entertainment you received from radio stations. However, not that radio frequencies that is generated by your microwave tower. It's revolutionary, it's unbelievable, and yet it's real. It's a testament to human ingenuity and the relentless pursuit of a better future without politics. And it's about to turn the world on its head. Imagine a world where cars no longer contribute to pollution, where the air we breathe is cleaner, and where energy is abundant and free. Forget everything you think you know about cars, the internal combustion engine, the electric motor, the hybrid systems. All of these are about to become relics of the past. Forget electric, forget petrol, forget hybrids. This isn't just another step forward. It's a complete reimagining of what a car can be. How Maxwell Chikumbutso's self-powered car could reshape the automotive industry. Maxwell Chikumbutso, a Zimbabwean inventor, has made headlines with his groundbreaking invention, a self-powered electric car that allegedly operates without the need for external charging or conventional fuel. Powered by what he calls greener power machine, GPM, this vehicle generates its own energy, challenging the very foundation of how we understand mobility, power storage, and energy consumption in the automotive sector. Reshaping the automotive industry. If validated and mass-produced, Chikumbutso's self-powered car has the potential to revolutionize transportation in several ways. End of dependence on fossil fuels and charging infrastructure. Traditional internal combustion engines rely on oil, while electric vehicles, EVs, require massive charging networks. A self-powered car renders both obsolete, drastically cutting operational costs and infrastructure needs. Democratization of mobility. In regions with limited access to fuel or electricity, especially in developing countries, self-powered vehicles could provide unprecedented independence, improving access to transportation and economic opportunities. Environmental impact. Zero emissions without external charging means significantly reduced environmental degradation compared to both combustion engines and lithium battery EVs, which still rely on electricity often generated from fossil fuels. Redefining vehicle design. Without the need for fuel tanks or large battery packs, vehicle design could become more efficient and flexible, opening doors to innovative models and uses. Adapt or face the Nokia effect. The Nokia effect refers to what happens when industry giants fail to adapt to disruptive innovations. As Tesla disrupted legacy automakers with EVs, a self-powered car could cause an even bigger upheaval. Legacy automakers who remain anchored to EV battery ecosystems or combustion engines risk becoming obsolete unless they pivot quickly to integrate or acquire such technologies. Battery manufacturers and charging infrastructure companies could see a drastic drop in relevance, akin to what landline providers experienced with mobile phones. Automakers that ignore or resist this shift may follow the fate of Nokia, once dominant, now irrelevant. To avoid this, the industry must invest in R&D, exploring alternative energy systems. Collaborations with innovators like Chikumbutso or acquisitions of disruptive startups will become critical. Governments and regulatory bodies must accelerate policies that support emerging clean technologies. Challenges to adoption, verification and skepticism. Intellectual property and geopolitical interest. Such transformative technology will attract global interest, leading to potential patent wars, industrial espionage, or political suppression from powerful stakeholders in oil and battery industries. Resistance from established players. Incumbents have billions invested in current technologies. There will be institutional resistance, lobbying, and possibly misinformation campaigns to discredit self-powered systems. Supply chain disruption. The shift away from traditional engines, batteries and fuels would dismantle massive supply chains and displace millions of jobs, posing social and economic challenges. Scaling the technology, moving from prototype to production, is a massive leap. Engineering, manufacturing capabilities, cost-effectiveness and scalability must be addressed. This isn't about incremental improvement. This is a paradigm shift of epic proportions. It's a bold statement that the future doesn't have to be a continuation of the past. Chikumbutso hasn't just built a technology that powers cars to run indefinitely. He has built a battering ram ready to smash down the gates of the old guard. He's challenging the status quo and daring us to dream bigger. Ready to smash down the established norms, and the entrenched interests are quaking in their boots, knowing that their time is running out. The revolution is here, and it doesn't need a charging station. It doesn't need a gas pump. It doesn't need anything but the air we all share. Maxwell Chikumbutso is leading us into a new era, and the world will never be the same. So how does it work? This is the question on everyone's mind, especially when they first hear about this groundbreaking technology. Good question, and one that has those smug engineers at Mercedes and Toyota scratching their heads. Imagine the surprise and curiosity that must be brewing in the minds of these seasoned professionals as they try to unravel the mystery behind this innovation. Chikumbutso isn't giving away all his secrets, but here's the gist. He's harnessed the power of radio frequencies. These frequencies, which are all around us, have been a part of our daily lives for decades, yet no one knows it's within or exactly thought how to use them in this way until now. That's right, the same stuff that brings you Spotify and dodgy phone calls from telemarketers is now propelling a car down the road. It's a revolutionary concept that turns the mundane into the extraordinary. It's genius, really. By capturing and converting these ever-present waves, Chikumbutso has tapped into an inexhaustible energy source. This method not only provides a sustainable solution, but also opens up a new frontier in energy utilization. No more drilling for oil, no more lithium mines scarring the planet, no more dependence on unreliable power grids. The environmental impact of this technology could be monumental, reducing our carbon footprint and preserving natural landscapes. Just pure, clean energy pulled straight from the air. This is not just a step forward, it's a leap into a future where our energy needs are met without compromising the health of our planet. It's the holy grail of sustainable transportation, and it's here. Now, this innovation promises to redefine how we think about energy and transportation, making the dream of a cleaner, greener world a reality. Remember all that hype about electric cars? The excitement was palpable. We were promised a revolution in transportation, a shift towards a greener, cleaner future. The Teslas, the Leafs, the Priuses, all these electric marvels were supposed to be the harbingers of a new era. The Teslas, the Leafs, the Priuses, they were more than just cars. They were symbols of hope. Hope for a world less dependent on fossil fuels, hope for cleaner air, and hope for a sustainable future, all promising a greener, cleaner future. We envisioned a world where charging stations would be as ubiquitous as gas stations, where the hum of electric motors would replace the roar of combustion engines. Well, pack it in, folks. It's over. The dream, as it turns out, was short-lived. The electric car, once hailed as the savior of our planet, is now facing an untimely demise. Chikumbutso's invention renders them all obsolete. This Zimbabwean innovator has created something that makes electric cars look like relics of a bygone era. While Elon Musk is busy launching himself into space, dreaming of Mars and beyond, Chikumbutso has been working on something far more grounded, yet revolutionary. This Zimbabwean innovator has quietly achieved what really matters: a truly sustainable car. A car that doesn't just reduce emissions but eliminates the need for charging altogether. A truly sustainable car. No more range anxiety, no more worrying about whether you'll make it to your destination before your battery dies. No more scrambling for charging points, no more planning your trips around where you can plug in, no more being held hostage by soaring electricity prices. Imagine a world where your car is always ready to go, where you never have to worry about the cost of charging. Chikumbutso's car doesn't need any of that. It's a game changer, a vehicle that redefines what it means to be sustainable. It's freedom on four wheels. Imagine driving without ever having to stop for fuel or a charge, just pure, uninterrupted travel. It's the death knell for the electric car, and frankly, they deserve it. They were a stepping stone, a half measure, and frankly, they deserve it. They were a stepping stone, a half measure. They got us thinking about sustainability, but they were never the final answer. They were a stepping stone, a half measure. Chikumbutso has delivered the real deal. His invention is not just an improvement, it's a revolution. Chikumbutso has delivered the real deal. The future of transportation is here, and it's more incredible than we ever imagined. And here's the best part. Remember those glorious gas guzzlers of the 70s? The Mustangs, the Camaros, the Chargers, all roaring V8 power and chrome-laden swagger? They were sacrificed on the altar of fuel efficiency, deemed relics of a bygone era. Well, get ready for a comeback, because Chikumbutso's tech breathes new life into these automotive legends. Imagine a Dodge Challenger, its Hemi engine now powered by nothing but air, tearing up the asphalt with guilt-free abandon. No more eco-guilt, no more compromise, just pure, unadulterated driving pleasure. The muscle car is back, baby, and it's brought its appetite for fun, this time without the thirst for fuel. Of course, not everyone's happy about this. Governments, those bureaucratic behemoths addicted to fuel tax revenue, are in a state of panic. How can they tax the air we breathe? They can't, and that's a beautiful thing. Chikumbutso's invention isn't just a technological marvel, it's a middle finger to the powers that be. No more road tax, no more emissions charges, no more government overreach into our driving lives. Chikumbutso has handed the power back to the people. It's a glorious thing. It's the dawn of a new era of automotive freedom, and the bureaucrats are left choking on the fumes of their own obsolescence. Section 6. Crime doesn't pay, especially when cars run forever. Policing redefined. But it's not just governments feeling the heat. Imagine the implications for law enforcement. High-speed chases become a thing of the past when criminals can't outrun a car that never needs refueling. Gone are the days of setting up roadblocks to catch unsuspecting motorists. Of course, criminals will always find new ways to operate, but Chikumbutso's invention throws a spanner in the works. It demands a rethink, a re-evaluation of tactics. It's a whole new ballgame, and the good guys just got a serious upgrade. Section 7. Traffic jams, where we're going? We don't need roads. Unleashing freedom. But the implications of Chikumbutso's invention go far beyond government coffers and police chases. Imagine a world without the tyranny of the gas pump, without the environmental damage of fossil fuels. Imagine the freedom to travel wherever, whenever, without the limitations of range or refueling. Commuting becomes a joyride. Road trips become limitless adventures. The open road beckons, and this time there are no strings attached. Chikumbutso's car is a passport to a world without boundaries. Section 8. From commuting hell to paradise, found life upgraded one drive at a time. It's not just about the big picture, though. This is about improving our daily lives in countless ways. Imagine never having to queue at a petrol station again. Imagine the money saved on fuel, money that can now be spent on, well, anything else. Imagine the peace of mind knowing that your car isn't harming the planet. Chikumbutso's car isn't just a mode of transport, it's a lifestyle upgrade. It's a stress reliever, a wallet fattener, and a guilt eraser all rolled into one. It's the car that keeps on giving, both literally and figuratively. Section 9, fasten your seatbelts, the future's here, and it runs on thin air. This isn't science fiction, this isn't some far-fetched dream, this is happening now. Maxwell Chikumbutso, the maverick from Zimbabwe, has done what many thought impossible. He's ushered in a new era of transportation, one that is clean, sustainable, and liberating. So buckle up, because the automotive world is about to be turned upside down. The future is here, and it's powered by the very air we breathe. Remember the name Maxwell Chikumbutso. He's not just changed the game, he's invented a whole new one.